Often it is difficult to remember things you have learned, seen or heard. Most people complain of not having a great memory, probably due to health issues or what others told them. This is very common with remembering names. It is so disheartening to forget the names of some wonderful friends and clients because that alone can ruin friendships and truncate business deals. What about forgetting what to say next during your presentation? That's really bad. Have you thought of the embarrassment in forgetting where you placed your keys or parked your car? It is very painful to forget something important. But whatever the case may be, there is a solution. Our video today will help you discover the techniques to make your memory sharp so you can remember everything with ease. 1. Have a goal for listening or learning. What you listen to should be more important to you. If it is not, it's very obvious you may not remember. So you should have a reason for gaining that knowledge. Most newscasters usually memorize the news content with a clear intention of forgetting after reading it out on TV. Likewise, if you want to also remember something forever, you should have a goal first, that is, the reason why you are listening or learning. That way, you become very intentional about your studies, and so your memory gear is shifted towards what you are learning. 2. Be attentive. If you listen with divided attention, you are very likely to forget what you have learned. We usually blame our brains for not being sharp, however we don't take the pain to listen or learn with our conscious mind. This is because we think it is just automatic for our brains to capture whatever we brush on or skim. But that's not how the brain works. The closer you get to whatever you want to learn, the faster it is grabbed and the longer it sticks. So whatever is important to you, don't just watch or listen or read, stay attentive to it and observe everything carefully so it can stick as a mental picture. 3. Learn with the intention to teach others. It is common to learn anything and forget when you decide to learn it for learning's sake or for exams. But when you are burdened with the responsibility to teach others, you will learn it well. If it is something you are listening to, you will pay much attention. Learning to teach others broadens your scope. It compels you to find meanings to what you are learning, hence you become more conscious about understanding. When you teach others what you have learned, you get the chance to learn it twice, and the questions from the student will draw your attention to many things you never thought about while learning. This really helps to remember the information forever. 4. Relate it to scenes and stories. It is easier to remember what a friend said during your graduation, wedding or birthday than to remember random things. How about creating a story from what you learned or reciting it as a song? It's even simpler to keep forever. But why? This is because your brain is able to capture scenes and stories more easily than plain words in vocals or texts. Hence, whenever you learn or want to remember something, make a story out of it or relate it to the scene of the moment. That way you will remember everything with ease. 5. Associate your learning to what you already know. The reason why most TV series show a recap of previous episodes before the next one is to remind the viewer that the next episode is the continuation of the previous one so that they can create that neural link for good understanding. In that same regard, it is necessary to synchronize the known information to the unfamiliar in order for your brain to quickly absorb it as relative information. So whenever someone mentions something you are not so familiar with, get something to relate to it. 6. Do not multitask. People often say they are good at multitasking, yet they are wrong. The truth is there's no such thing as multitasking. There is no way you can do two cognitive demanding tasks at the same time. What they actually do is to switch tasks. It is okay to eat and read at the same time, but reading and intermittently scrolling through notifications on your phone is task switching, and it is a bad habit. It turns your attention away, and when it is done repetitively, it causes confusion in the mind, making you absorb less. You also need more energy to bring yourself back to a state of awareness. This is because mostly social media hypnotizes you. So put your phones on silent or airplane mode when having important discussions or studying. Also take away any distraction that will turn your attention. 7. Be observant. A lot of people visit Google many times every day. Funny enough, most of them do not even remember its colors. This is not because they have a bad memory. They simply do not observe closely. Though they see it all the time, they do not make their conscious memory aware of it. Probably because it is not really a priority. One of the ways to easily remember anything is to visualize it. But before you get a clear visualization, you should have observed very intelligibly. In the process of observation, you have to spot certain necessary points on whatever you are studying. Whether it's a book you're reading or where you parked your car or left your keys. So whenever you want to remember something very important, observe it clearly. 8. Mention again and again. Repetition helps your memory to capture things easily. This strategy is usually used to help children in school and at home to remember the most important things. It is also used to remember names. When someone mentions his name to you, repeat the name after him and then ask him some necessary information about the name, like how it is spelt, what it means, or the origin of the name. Also keep repeating the name while you converse. And when you say goodbye, mention the name again. This way you will easily remember. It does apply to everything you really want to remember. 9. Wish to understand, not to be understood. In this era where almost everyone is self-centered, most people tend to hear rather than listen. The craving desire to be understood compels us to bring out our thoughts immediately to counter others talking to us. At least to show that we too are well informed. Most times while people are diligently giving out valuable information, we are busily preparing our reply instead of listening subjectively. The problem is, most of us have vulnerable hearts which react as soon as someone begins to speak. If you find yourself in such a situation, your mind will hardly be receptive when there are new things to grasp. This way, you will barely remember anything new. But if we can be humble and patient enough to listen or study with a motive of understanding rather than being understood, we will absorb and assimilate a lot of good information without losing it. This way we are likely to remember things all the time. A quick recap of how to remember everything important. 1. Have a goal for listening or learning. 2. Be attentive. 3. Learn with the intention to teach others. 4. Relate it to scenes and stories. 5. Associate your learning to what you already know. 6. Do not multitask. 7. Be observant. 8. Mention again and again. 9. Wish to understand, not to be understood. Finally, be open whenever you want to learn anything important and follow all these strategies, then you are sure not to forget anything important ever again. If you find this video educational, kindly smash the like button and the subscribe button for more interesting videos like this. Please leave your submissions and suggestions in the comments section below. Thank you for watching.